Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you to deliver this message. You are not scrolling by accident. And this is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. A powerful eye is fixed upon you this week. You have caught the attention of heaven, and the gaze of God Himself has settled upon your life. The same eye that saw Hagar in the wilderness, that watched David in the fields, that followed Elijah to the mountain, is now upon you. You have walked through seasons where it felt like no one saw the weight you carried, the silent battles, the tears that no one understood. But now, the one who never sleeps nor slumbers is watching over you. His attention is not casual, it is intentional, purposeful, and filled with power. You are being seen by the highest, and that sight will begin to shift everything around you. There are moments when the human eye cannot discern what heaven sees. While others may look at your failures, heaven looks at your formation. While the world notices your scars, heaven recognizes your survival. While people measure your worth by your past, heaven measures your potential by your obedience. Every test you faced, every delay you endured, every betrayal you survived, it was not wasted. God was watching. And now, that same watchful eye is about to release what was promised. This week is not just another week. It is an appointed time. A shift in heaven's schedule has placed your name at the center of divine attention. You may feel unworthy, but remember this: the eyes of the Lord do not seek perfection, they seek surrender. When you yield your will, heaven moves. When you align your heart, the gaze becomes favor. You are not being overlooked, you are being observed for promotion. You are called to stand, to walk upright, to live as one who is chosen. This is your reminder: you are not forgotten, and you are not invisible. Heaven has seen every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every whispered prayer. Even when you thought no one noticed, God did. Heaven's gaze carries both comfort and conviction. For some, it feels like warmth. For others, it feels like exposure. But do not fear this moment of exposure. Chosen one, it is for your good. Whatever is hidden is being revealed, not to destroy you, but to heal you. Whatever was kept in darkness will now come into light, and that light will liberate you. You are entering a season where you will no longer question if God sees you. You will see evidence of His attention in the smallest details: doors opening that should not open, words of confirmation appearing unexpectedly, and peace flooding places where fear once ruled. These are signs that the eye of the Almighty is upon you. The Spirit of God whispers to you even now, I have not turned away. I have been watching, guarding, waiting for this moment to favor you. You are stepping into divine surveillance, not for punishment, but for purpose. You are marked, covered, and guided. Every move you make this week will matter. So, walk with awareness, speak with intention, move with faith. The gaze of heaven is upon you, and with that gaze comes authority. Wherever you go, know that unseen angels follow, carrying orders from the throne to ensure your safety and success. It was declared long ago, and the words still echo with truth today. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you. You, chosen one, are learning to find stillness in motion. to hear guidance within noise. This week, that lesson deepens. The eye that never blinks is upon you, guiding your every turn through the turbulence. Do you remember the disciples on the sea? They panicked when the winds roared. But Jesus slept unbothered, unafraid. Why? Because the Creator cannot fear what He commands. And now His Spirit whispers to you, do not let the wind outside control the calm inside. And if you have not yet done so, subscribe to stay under this flow of divine revelation. Your obedience is not just engagement, it is agreement with heaven. Before this week ends, you will see a sign that proves this word was for you. The eye of God will reveal its presence in your path. Believe it, speak it, and move in it. You are seen. You are chosen. You are covered. Comment the number 777 below as a prophetic act. 3 sevens to signify divine completion, divine protection, and divine favor over your life this week. Chosen one. The gaze that found you has not looked away. Every step you take, every breath you draw, every thought that stirs in the secret chambers of your heart, heaven observes it all. You walk under the surveillance of divine love. Nothing escapes that all-seeing presence. Not your struggles, not your prayers, not even the faint sighs you release when words fail. You have often wondered if the path you walk is random, if the detours and delays have meaning. But in the architecture of heaven, there are no coincidences. Every twist, every pause, every encounter has been recorded and measured. Even your pain has been permitted for a purpose beyond what you can now perceive. The powerful eye that watches you does not miss a single detail. It calculates mercy into every movement of your journey. There are moments when you feel invisible to those around you, when people misunderstand your heart or misjudge your motives. Yet, in those very moments, the one who formed you keeps count of your tears and weighs your intentions on scales that never lie. You are not just seen, you are known. Known beyond appearances, beyond performance, beyond what others can comprehend. The angels assigned to your path do not sleep. They move at the rhythm of heaven's attention, stationed to intercept what was designed to harm you. The unseen realm is alive with awareness of you. Darkness plots, but the light exposes. Comment the number 777 below as a prophetic act. 3 sevens to signify divine completion, divine protection, and divine favor over your life this week. Even the smallest act of love becomes a radiant entry in the records of heaven's watchfulness. This week, that awareness intensifies. The Father is watching not merely the outer steps of your journey, but the inner alignment of your spirit. He studies the motives behind your choices. He examines the posture of your heart when no one else is watching. The gaze of heaven is not like the gaze of man. It does not seek to expose weakness, but to refine it. Confusion rises, but wisdom prevails. You walk within an invisible circumference of divine protection. That is why some things that should have broken you did not. The gaze of heaven shielded you when you didn't even know danger was near. Every breath you take echoes in eternity. Each prayer you whisper is recorded in the archives of glory. When you think no one notices your faithfulness, heaven writes it down as evidence. There is no wasted obedience, no forgotten sacrifice. You are both the thread and the design. Every event you have lived was stitched under the eye of the Master Weaver. And now, That same eye watches to see how you will respond when called into greater obedience. The next move you make may unlock a sequence of blessings reserved for this appointed season. Do not fear the scrutiny of heaven. It is the gaze of a father who delights in his child, the look of a shepherd who refuses to lose a single lamb. If you listen carefully, you will hear the whisper that follows such a gaze, a voice saying, "This is the way, walk in it." And of this, the old writings confirm what you are sensing. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God will never leave you. These ancient words still breathe with power. They reveal the heart of the one who watches you. His gaze is constant because his presence is continual. To be watched by God is to be accompanied by him. The same eye that observes your path walks beside you through it. So, as you step forward into the days ahead, walk with quiet confidence. You are not walking through random moments. You are walking through recorded prophecy. Every heartbeat is heard, every step mapped by mercy. The heavens are not distant, they are attentive. The eye of the Almighty follows you through daylight and darkness alike, guarding, guiding, and gathering every fragment of your faith into a masterpiece of divine purpose. Chosen one. There are eyes beyond what human sight can perceive, watchers appointed by heaven, dispatched to encircle your destiny. They are not the eyes of men, but of light, of divine assignment, ancient and alert. These unseen guardians stand in silence around your journey, ensuring that the purpose written over your life will not be stolen, delayed, or destroyed. You may not see them, but you can feel the pressure of their presence when you step into sacred timing. You have entered a week unlike any other. The heavenly host observes not to accuse, but to assist. They take note of your obedience, of the prayers you whisper when exhaustion settles in, of the mercy you show when bitterness could have won. You are being studied not by darkness but by light, by the angels who minister to those chosen for divine inheritance. Every chosen one walks under invisible observation. The realm of heaven studies courage, not comfort. It celebrates endurance, not applause. While the world may measure your value by what you achieve, heaven measures it by what you overcome. Every time you refuse to bow to despair, an angel records your decision as a victory in the unseen. There are watchers positioned on the walls of your destiny, spiritual sentinels who war for your peace. When you face temptation, they fight beside you. When you are betrayed, they strengthen your heart. When you want to give up, they whisper reminders of who you are and what you carry. Do not mistake their silence for absence. They are nearest when the battle is fiercest. The Lord has not left your destiny unguarded. The book of Daniel speaks of watchers who descend from heaven to decree justice on the earth. These same watchers are now active around your life. They have seen the traps set by the enemy, and their wings have blocked many unseen arrows. The very fact that you are still here breathing, believing, and standing is proof that the watchers have done their work. You, chosen one, are a mystery in motion. The world cannot interpret you because heaven has encrypted your steps. You are hidden in divine strategy. Every delay, every redirection, every closed door was calculated to shield you from spiritual ambush. The gaze of the watchers ensures that no curse, no gossip. No weapon prospers. When you move under that gaze, darkness trembles because it knows that to touch you is to provoke heaven itself. You have wondered why isolation follows your obedience. It is because heaven's surveillance isolates before it elevates. God will often separate the one he has chosen so that no unclean eye can interfere with what he is about to release. You are in that sacred separation now. It may feel lonely, but it is actually divine protection in disguise. Listen closely. This week, the watchers record your responses. They listen to your words, weigh your motives, and note your decisions. Every yes to God becomes a flame that lights the spiritual atmosphere around you. Every act of trust builds a fortress in the unseen. This is not the week to drift, it is the week to demonstrate. The ancient records confirm the reality of these watchful presences, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." Let that truth settle deeply within you. You are not unprotected. You are not wandering blindly through chaos. There are eyes of light that move ahead of you, mapping safe paths, and eyes behind you, closing the doors that could lead to destruction. So when you walk into uncertain places, walk with reverence. When you enter rooms where your name has been whispered, remember, you are never alone. There are witnesses of heaven standing by, keeping watch until the word spoken over your life comes to pass. And now, chosen one, as a sign that you understand this moment, type these words below: I am guarded. Write it not as a comment for attention, but as a declaration for alignment. When you type those 3 words, you are acknowledging the truth that heaven is actively protecting you. You are agreeing with divine surveillance, affirming that you walk under the covering of angelic protection. This simple act is prophetic. It seals your awareness and invites heaven's guardians to move even closer. You are declaring to both realms, seen and unseen, that you know who you are and whose eyes are upon you. Say it. Believe it. And watch how the week unfolds with divine precision. The eye of heaven sees, the angels record, and destiny responds. You are covered, chosen one. You are watched, not in fear, but in fierce, unrelenting love. There are seasons, chosen one, when silence itself becomes the loudest sign that heaven is watching. You have experienced moments when the noise of the world faded, when conversations grew distant, and when familiar comfort was suddenly withdrawn. It was not abandonment, it was observation. When heaven studies a heart, silence becomes the classroom. The absence of applause is not rejection, it is divine focus. In the stillness, your true posture is revealed. Words can hide motives. Actions can disguise intention. But silence uncovers the soul. That is why the Almighty sometimes removes distractions so that what cannot be seen in noise can be refined in quiet. The eye of God watches most closely when everything else grows still. Think of the prophets who endured holy solitude. Moses on the mountain, Elijah by the brook, David in the cave. All were watched in their silence. Heaven used those quiet hours to weigh their hearts and sharpen their spirits. The same gaze now falls upon you. Every moment you choose patience over panic. Heaven takes note. Every time you endure the ache of waiting with faith still intact, you prove that you trust the watcher who sees all. Do not despise the silence. It is the sound of divine attention. When the noise around you decreases, it means heaven's voice is about to increase. You may not yet hear it, but you are being studied for your response. The eyes of the Almighty observe whether you will grumble or grow, whether you will resist or release, whether you will doubt or declare. You have asked heaven, "Why does nothing move?" But heaven responds, "Because I am watching what moves inside you." In this sacred stillness, something in you is being refined, something no miracle could teach, no sermon could impart. Patience forged in silence becomes the strength required for elevation. Every tear you release in that silence is counted. Every question you ask in the night is written. Heaven misses nothing, not the trembling of your voice, not the longing of your heart, not the flicker of faith that refuses to die. You may think you are waiting for God to act, but often God is waiting for your surrender. Silence is the moment between observation and manifestation. This week, the gaze of heaven watches for quiet obedience, not dramatic gestuures, not grand declarations, but the gentle stability that says, "Even here, I trust you." That kind of trust shakes the unseen realm. Demons lose interest in souls that rest. Chaos loses its grip on those who refuse to be hurried. You are learning to rest under divine observation, to live in peace, even when you do not yet see results. There is beauty in unseen progress. Seeds do not shout when they sprout. They grow in silence under watchful eyes. The same is happening in you. Your silence is not wasted. It is where heaven shapes your roots so that your fruit will endure. When you cannot trace God, remember, you are still being tracked by His eye. When you cannot hear Him, remember, He has not stopped listening. The distance you feel is not absence, it is reverence. The Creator does not need to speak to prove He is near. His gaze is enough. Your discipline in the quiet moments will define the doors that open next. You are being prepared to handle visibility without vanity, influence without arrogance, blessing without bondage. Heaven must be sure that you will not forget who watched over you when no one else cared. That is why you are in the still place now, to remember the source when the spotlight comes. And while you sit in that sacred quiet, the ancient promise still breathes life over your soul. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 34, verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry. Those words are alive. They are not history. They are happening now. The same eyes that watched David weep in caves watch you wrestle with your calling. The same ears that heard his cry in the wilderness hear your whispers tonight. So breathe. Chosen one. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. The silence surrounding you is full of movement you cannot yet see. God is building strength beneath the surface. He is watching, weighing, preparing, and aligning all things for your next ascent. Let peace settle where anxiety once ruled. Let gratitude replace impatience. The powerful eye remains fixed, not to find fault, but to forge faith. You are not forgotten in the silence. You are being perfected in it. When heaven is quiet, the chosen are being seen most clearly. Chosen one. You have entered the week of divine focus. This is not ordinary time. It is concentrated, sacred, heavy with meaning. The eye of heaven has narrowed its gaze to you specifically, not to overwhelm you, but to refine your steps. Think of a master artist leaning close to his canvas, adjusting the smallest details to perfection. That is how heaven looks at your life right now, close, intentional, tender, and precise. Every day this week carries the fragrance of purpose. Even small events have weight. A delay is no longer just a delay, it's a divine rearranging. A meeting is not random, it's an appointed encounter. Every move you make is part of heaven's choreography, and the spotlight of God's attention follows you as you walk the path of obedience. You may feel pressure under this gaze, but remember, diamonds are formed only under pressure. The same intensity that exposes flaws also reveals brilliance. God is not trying to crush you. He's polishing what He placed in you. The uncomfortable moments are not signs of punishment, but proof that heaven is near. This week, your discernment will sharpen. What once seemed confusing will begin to make sense. Conversations will echo with divine timing. Closed doors will start to make sense in hindsight. God is not only watching you, He is arranging the stage for your next unveiling. The people who once overlooked you will soon have to acknowledge the glow that comes from being seen by heaven. The situations that tried to bury you will serve as soil for your testimony. The gaze of God is not a passive glance. It is an active force that transforms everything it touches. You are like clay on the potter's wheel. When His eyes are on you, His hands follow. Every turn, every spin, every reshaping is guided by His perfect vision. The vessel is almost ready. You have endured heat and pressure because you are being prepared to carry something sacred. So lift your eyes this week and walk with confidence. You are not drifting, you are directed. The same eye that sees your pain also sees your potential. And the same hand that disciplines you also defends you. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. That power is stirring within you now. Heaven is calling you to rise, not with anxiety, but with awareness. When you know you are seen, you no longer need to shout for validation. You can move quietly. Knowing the gaze of God guarantees your growth. Chosen one. When the farmer looks over his field, he does not focus on every blade of grass. His eyes find the seed that carries promise. In the same way, heaven looks over the earth and sees you planted, persevering, ready to break through. But even the strongest seed needs nurturing. The sunlight must reach it. The rain must touch it. The soil must remain healthy. In this same spirit, every time you share the light you've received by liking, by sharing, by subscribing, you become part of that divine ecosystem. It's not about numbers, it's about nourishment. You help the message reach another soul that's still buried under fear. Someone waiting for the reminder that heaven sees them too. When you engage, you are not just supporting content, you are watering purpose. You are helping this divine current flow farther, reaching places it was destined to reach. You are planting seeds of hope in unseen fields. And if your heart feels stirred to go beyond that, to give, to donate, it is not a transaction. It is an act of worship. Giving is the language of gratitude. It says, God, I see you seeing me, and I respond. It is a sacred echo to the divine gaze. Think of it this way. When sunlight touches water, it creates a rainbow, a reflection of beauty between heaven and earth. Your support, whether through sharing, subscribing, or giving, becomes that reflection. It bridges the message from this moment to someone else's midnight. You may never know who you help, but heaven records it. So as you go about your week, remember, heaven's focus is not only upon you, but through you. You are part of a living network of light, carrying this message into places only you can reach. The eye is fixed, the hand is steady, the week is holy. Let what you do in response become your offering to the one who watches in love. If this word has touched something deep within you, let your gratitude flow naturally by lifting this message higher, by keeping the flame alive, whether through a share, a simple word, or an offering from the heart. Let your act be your amen to heaven's gaze. You are seen, you are shaped, you are sent, chosen one. Heaven does not only look at what you do, it looks at why you do it. The gaze of God does not stop at your surface. It penetrates motive. Every word, every gesture, every silent thought is weighed in divine balance. You are seen not merely as a person of action, but as a heart in motion. This is the mirror of motives. And this week, that mirror shines brightly upon your soul. When heaven examines you, it does not seek perfection, it seeks purity, not the absence of mistakes, but the presence of honesty. The gaze of God separates what is sincere from what is performative, what is humble from what is hollow. You are being refined in your reasoning why you serve, why you love, why you forgive, why you persist. These questions echo in heaven's chambers because your motives determine your momentum. There are some things that cannot move forward until your heart does. Heaven delays certain blessings not to punish you, but to purify you. The wrong motive would destroy what the right motive could sustain. That is why this week, the Holy Eye studies your why, your prayers, your generosity, your obedience. All are being measured, not by how much you give, but by how true you are in giving. You may recall moments where you acted righteously, yet felt unseen. But do not be deceived. Heaven saw. The unseen reward is already forming. God is not a careless observer. He is a perfect accountant of intent. When your heart remains clean before Him, nothing you do goes unnoticed. Sometimes, the refinement feels painful. When motives are purified, false comfort burns away. God will gently expose self-serving reasons you did not even know existed, not to shame you, but to free you. He will strip away applause, seeking patterns, teaching you to serve unseen. That is how warriors of light are trained, not by fame, but by faithfulness. You are in that season now. The mirror is in front of you, not to condemn, but to confirm your calling. Every time you choose integrity over convenience, you polish that mirror. Every time you walk away from bitterness, you align your reflection with heaven's image. And as your motives align, your anointing deepens. When you look into the mirror of motives, do not fear what you see, for where you find pride, humility can grow. Where you find pain, healing can begin. The reflection is not your enemy, it is your invitation. The closer you allow heaven to look, the clearer your path becomes. Many want visibility, but few can handle it. Visibility without purity leads to collapse. That is why the eye tests you in hiddenness first. Before heaven can make you a light to nations, It must make sure that light is not polluted. It must know you can be trusted with influence that heals rather than harms. This is a week for cleansing intentions, for resetting direction. The Spirit of God searches hearts, not to embarrass, but to empower. Every hidden motive that does not serve His will is being revealed so that grace can replace it with truth. You will feel it a stirring, a holy discomfort that points to areas needing surrender. Yield to it. That discomfort is the gaze of heaven working within you. And now, let this ancient wisdom confirm what heaven is saying. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 2, all a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Those words pierce like light. They remind you that God is not fooled by the masks people wear. He is beneath charm, beneath effort, beneath appearances. He looks straight into essence. And yet, even as He examines, His eyes are full of mercy. He does not weigh to destroy, He weighs to restore. Chosen one, take this message as a moment of renewal. If you find that some motives were misaligned, simply return them to the altar. Say within your heart, God, purify my reason. Let what I do reflect who you are. That simple surrender opens heaven's flow again. The mirror that once felt exposing will soon feel comforting, because when your motives are right, you can stand before the gaze of God unafraid. Purity invites peace. Honesty draws favor. Heaven delights in transparency. It is the language of the chosen. And now, to seal this word, perform a prophetic act of agreement. Comment the number 444 below. It represents divine alignment, body, mind, and spirit united under truth. It symbolizes stability, foundation, and heavenly order. When you write it, you are declaring that your motives are being aligned with heaven's design. Let your comment be more than digits. It is a declaration. I am aligned. Say it with faith, knowing that the gaze of heaven smiles upon sincerity. The mirror is clear. The heart is steady. And the chosen one walks forward in truth. There are times, chosen one, when heaven does not speak through thunder or wind, but through a question whispered into your spirit. You feel it as an inner stirring, a sudden thought that pierces deeper than reasoning. This week, you stand under a holy interrogation, not of condemnation, but of clarification. The questions you sense in your heart are not random. They are the voice of God drawing you into revelation. Every great soul in Scripture faced such questioning. Where are you? God asked Adam. Not because he did not know, but because Adam needed to face his own distance. Whom shall I send? He asked Isaiah. To awaken a prophet's readiness. Do you love me? Jesus asked Peter. Not to shame him, but to restore him. Each divine question unlocks destiny by forcing honesty to surface. And now, heaven's question rests upon you. Perhaps the whisper comes when you are alone. What are you holding on to that I asked you to release? Or why are you afraid to step where I called you to walk? The questions vary, but the intent is the same: to lead you from confusion into clarity. You are being invited to answer, not aloud, but within, where truth cannot hide. This week's gaze is not distant, it is conversational. God is not merely watching you, He is dialoguing with your heart. The questions come as tests, not to trap you, but to train you in self-awareness. Every answer you give shapes your next season. Some doors open only when your inner response matches heaven's expectation. Heaven's interrogation is holy surgery. It separates assumption from truth, fear from faith, emotion from conviction. It asks, do you still believe even when the evidence fades? Do you still love me when blessings delay? These are not cruel questions, they are invitations to deeper intimacy. When God asks, it means He wants you closer, not further away. You may feel uneasy under this gaze, as though every layer of your being is exposed. That is because you are in a refining dialogue, a conversation between Creator and creation. It is here, in these questions, that purpose is purified. You are learning not just to act for God, but to walk with Him, to understand the rhythm of His heart. The questions will come gently at first, like ripples in still water. They may appear in your dreams, in passing words from a stranger, or in verses that catch your attention unexpectedly. Do not dismiss them. Write them down. Sit with them. God's questions always carry direction hidden within them. For instance, when the Spirit asks, "Will you trust me again?" It is not an accusation, it is an announcement. It means a new level of trust is required, because a new door is near. You have endured heat and pressure because you are being prepared to carry something sacred. So, lift your eyes this week and walk with confidence. You are not drifting, you are directed. The same eye that sees your pain also sees your potential, and the same hand that disciplines you also defends you. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." As you face this holy examination, remember that the greatest revelations are born from divine dialogue. When Abraham questioned God, he became the father of faith. When Mary asked, "How can this be?" she carried the Messiah. Your honesty invites heaven's creativity. God is not threatened by your uncertainty, He is moved by your willingness to engage. Listen quietly. You may hear the Spirit's whisper right now, gentle yet firm, tender yet piercing. Do you still want my will above your own? That is the essence of every divine question. It calls your priorities into alignment. The power of heaven's gaze lies not in what it sees, but in what it reveals about you to yourself. And as always, the sacred texts bear witness to this moment. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 17, verse 10, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. These words are not meant to terrify you. They are meant to teach you that God's observation is purposeful. His examination is not surveillance, it is stewardship. He looks into your heart to cultivate what He planted there long ago. So when the questions come, do not resist. Let them reshape you. Let them lead you into stillness, repentance, and renewal. The interrogation of heaven is not the beginning of judgment. It is the beginning of clarity. You will emerge from this dialogue lighter, freer, and surer of who you are. The fire of divine questioning burns away confusion, leaving behind conviction. That conviction becomes your compass through every storm that follows. Be still. Chosen one. Listen. The questions are holy, the silence sacred, and the gaze eternal. Chosen one. The same eye that blesses also judges. The gaze that comforts you in the quiet is the very gaze that exposes what hides in darkness. The light of heaven is not partial. It reveals, it refines, and it removes. As the divine eye fixes upon you, it also sweeps across everything connected to you. Every shadow that has followed your steps, every deceptive plan formed in secrecy, now trembles under the brightness of that gaze. The judgment of God is not cruelty, it is clarity. When light shines, it does not ask permission. It simply makes truth visible. This week, that light will uncover things you were not meant to carry. Relationships born from manipulation. Habits clothed in justification. Thoughts that wear holiness as disguise. These are being revealed, not to humiliate you, but to heal you. The gaze of God does not destroy without the intent to restore. You will feel the separation. Some things that once felt safe will suddenly feel heavy. Some connections that once seemed right will begin to lose peace. Do not resist it. That discomfort is heaven's way of saying, this does not belong to your next season. When the eye of the Almighty exposes darkness, it is an act of mercy. It means you are being rescued from what could have consumed you. Understand this. The light judges both the external and the internal. It not only reveals what surrounds you, but what hides within you, the small compromises, the quiet resentments, the unspoken fears. All of it comes under inspection. Do not be ashamed. Even in correction, there is affection. God does not reveal to reject, He reveals to redeem. There is power in exposure. Darkness loses authority. When named, what once whispered in secret begins to crumble the moment it meets light. You are stepping into a week of revelation where motives are purified, alliances are tested, and faith is fortified. This is not a week to panic, it is a week to perceive. Every time heaven shines its light on something hidden, it is a sign that grace is still active. The worst judgment is not exposure, it is abandonment. When God stops watching, when light stops shining, that is when destruction follows. But you, chosen one, are not abandoned. You are still under the eye of mercy. The very fact that He reveals is proof that He still intends to restore. The world often confuses judgment with rejection, but in the kingdom, judgment is invitation. It says, "Come up higher. Leave behind what cannot endure." You are being invited upward. The chains that held you are losing their disguise. The light of heaven is not just looking at you, it is moving through you, cleansing everything in its path. You will begin to notice this even in your atmosphere. Words will weigh differently. People who carried hidden envy will reveal themselves. Environments that used to feel easy may now feel uneasy. Pay attention. Not with suspicion, but with discernment. The light is not punishing you. It's protecting you. It is positioning you for purity, for elevation, for peace that cannot coexist with deceit. Let your prayer this week be simple. God, show me what you see. That prayer will unlock divine discernment. It will make you aware of patterns that drain you, voices that distract you, and habits that delay you. The eye that judges darkness is also the eye that delivers truth. Do not be afraid when what is false begins to fall away. The collapse of counterfeits always precedes the construction of authenticity. You cannot step into the fullness of destiny while clinging to shadows. When God exposes, He also replaces. What you lose in deception, you gain in destiny. Remember, even when the light feels harsh, its goal is healing. A surgeon's light is bright, not to harm the patient, but to ensure precision. Likewise, heaven's gaze pierces not to punish, but to cleanse. You are in a spiritual surgery. Old wounds are being uncovered so that new strength can emerge. And the scripture bears witness to this truth, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verse 17. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Those words still ring across centuries, reminding you that divine light always wins. No secret can remain secret forever under the watchful eyes of eternity. So, chosen one, do not fear this week's exposure. Welcome it. Let the light reveal what must leave, and let it illuminate what must stay. The gaze of God judges not to end your story, but to edit it, to remove lies, rewrite truth, and restore beauty to the pages that darkness tried to stain. Chosen one, the eye that once judged is now healing. It does not only expose, it restores. The same light that revealed your wounds now begins to touch them with warmth and tenderness. You have walked through fire, endured the cutting of truth, and now heaven leans close to mend what was broken. You are being restored not by chance, but by the deliberate compassion of the Almighty. He saw your pain long before you could name it. He watched the moments you smiled to hide your ache, the times you carried others while collapsing inside. Every tear you cried was a prayer, even when your lips said nothing. This is a sacred exchange, pain for peace, sorrow for stability, wounds for wisdom. Every scar on your spirit is being rewritten as a story of victory. What once felt like loss will become testimony. There is healing in being seen. When heaven looks upon your brokenness, it does not recoil. It responds. God does not ignore your hurt. He enters it. The gaze that searches your heart does not merely observe it, participates. The light moves into the cracks of your soul and begins to fill them with glory. That is why healing feels both painful and peaceful. It stretches you, even as it soothes you. The process may still feel uncertain. Healing rarely happens in a single moment. Sometimes it arrives gradually, like dawn creeping through a window. You may not notice it day by day, but one morning, you will wake and realize the weight is gone. The bitterness no longer bites. The memory no longer bleeds. That is when you will know the eye of heaven has completed its work. This week, healing will manifest in subtle yet undeniable ways. You may feel an old wound surface again, not to haunt you, but to leave you. You may find yourself forgiving someone you thought you never could. You may sense peace entering rooms that once triggered anxiety. Do not dismiss these moments. They are signs that the healer is near. When the divine gaze restores, it does not merely repair, it renews. Restoration means more than getting back what you lost. It means receiving better than before. You are being rebuilt stronger, wiser, and more anchored in truth. The pain that once defined you will soon testify for you. The very places where you bled will become the wells where others drink hope. Remember, chosen one, that healing is not weakness, it is warfare. To forgive is to defy darkness. To love again is to overthrow bitterness. To rest again is to declare that the past no longer rules you. Heaven is proud of your endurance. The eye of God does not only watch, it rejoices over you as you recover what the enemy tried to destroy. Listen carefully. There is someone heaven is preparing to send your way. someone who will see the healed version of you and not the hurt one. Do not resist the restoration process out of fear that you are unworthy of new beginnings. The gaze that restores you also prepares the path ahead of you. The ancient texts confirm what you are now living. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 19, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's and helps me ascend." Those words declare more than recovery. They announce elevation. Healing is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your ascent. The same God who strengthens your steps will cause you to stand where pain once made you stumble. Now, chosen one, as a prophetic declaration of agreement with this word, type these simple words below. I am rising. Type them not as empty repetition, but as revelation. When you say, I am rising, you are telling both heaven and hell that your healing is active, that the eye of God has not only seen you but lifted you. You are declaring that you will not remain in the valley where pain once buried your hope. Those three words become a seed of prophecy. When you write them, you claim your ascent. You invite the gaze of God to continue His work until every trace of brokenness becomes brilliance. So say it, believe it, and live it. I am rising. Because heaven's eye is not only fixed on you, it is carrying you upward. The restoration is already unfolding. And soon, what once hurt you will only remind you how powerfully you were healed. Chosen one. When heaven fixes its lens upon you, it is not casual. It is a focus that transforms pressure into promotion. Every trial that has surrounded you was never meant to destroy it, was meant to define. You are being sculpted by divine attention. Like a statue hidden beneath rough stone. The hammer and chisel are not cruelty, they are care. Every strike is shaping you into the image heaven already sees. This week, you may feel the heat of that refining. The gaze of God is not distant, it is close, intentional, and unwavering. It examines your surroundings, your relationships, your ambitions. It is aligning every element of your life for visibility and victory. The very spotlight of heaven is turning toward you, not for entertainment, but for exaltation. You are like a seed long buried in soil. The weight you feel above you is not meant to suffocate. It is the pressure before breakthrough. The eye of heaven watches, waiting for the first sign of movement, the first crack of new life pressing through darkness. And when it comes, the light will meet you halfway. This is the beauty of divine observation. It watches until what was hidden can no longer stay buried. Do not misinterpret the shaking around you. It is not chaos, it is calibration. When the lens of God zooms in, it must clear the frame of distractions. Some people may drift away, some opportunities may fade, and some paths may close, but all of it is to keep your destiny in sharp focus. Heaven cannot spotlight what remains surrounded by clutter. You are entering a sacred unveiling. The pressure you feel is the press of promotion. The silence you endured was heaven clearing the noise for your announcement. Every test, every tear, every waiting hour was preparation for what is now unfolding. And as you stand under this divine lens, hear the truth from the eternal record. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That stillness is not laziness, it is faith. It is the calm confidence that comes when you know heaven is working while you rest. You are not being overlooked. You are being orchestrated. Chosen one. This message is not just for hearing, it is for carrying. You are part of something larger, a divine broadcast, echoing across hearts that need awakening. Each time you help spread this message, when you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are amplifying heaven's signal. You are not just supporting words, you are spreading light. Think of it like this. A lighthouse does not move, it shines. Yet ships far away steer safely because of its beam. When you share this message, you become a beam in someone else's darkness. Your small act of engagement can redirect a soul lost at sea. And if your heart feels led to go beyond, if you sense that quiet tug to give, to donate, understand this. You are not funding a program, you are fueling a purpose. Every seed you sow becomes spiritual oil that keeps the flame burning, allowing these words to continue reaching the broken, the weary, the forgotten. Your generosity is like a river. It may start as a drop, but together it carves valleys of grace. Heaven never forgets the hand that gives in faith. Every offering, every share, every act of support echoes back into your life as harvest. Do you see it now? The divine lens is not only watching you, it is working through you. You are both the subject and the messenger, both the watched and the witness. God's gaze moves outward through your obedience. The light that shines on you is meant to reflect through you, and reflection is a holy responsibility. To reflect well, the mirror must be clean. That is why God has refined you, so that His glory can pass through without distortion. The world will soon see what heaven has been perfecting in secret. You are stepping into the visible realm of your calling. The light will no longer avoid you, it will embrace you. The eye of heaven has chosen this time to magnify your impact, and everything that once felt like pressure will now reveal its purpose. So, as you receive this word, let gratitude move your heart. Lift this light higher through sharing, through subscribing, through giving from the heart. Let your response be your worship. You are not supporting a message, you are sustaining a mission. Because every time a chosen one responds, heaven moves. And when heaven moves, destinies shift. Chosen one. When heaven's eye lingers, secrets cannot hide. You are walking in a week of unveiling, where what was hidden both within you and around you will come into sight. Do not fear this exposure. It is not to shame, but to shield. God is not revealing to embarrass you. He is revealing to equip you. Every mystery uncovered this week is a message sent for your advancement. For too long, you have walked in partial understanding. You have known what to do, but not why. You have seen glimpses, but not the full picture. Heaven is now granting you the gift of revelation. The gaze of God pierces through fog, lifting the veils that have kept you guessing. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was suspicion, there will be confirmation. The light of truth is descending like dawn after a long night. This divine unveiling will not only concern people, but patterns. You will begin to recognize spiritual cycles that repeat, disguised as coincidence. You will see why certain battles keep returning, and why certain doors never open. You will discern the lessons hidden in pain, and the purposes hidden in delay. Revelation is God's way of upgrading your discernment, so that you stop fighting shadows and start walking in strategy. You have prayed for answers, and heaven responds not always with explanation, but with exposure. Sometimes God does not speak to you about something. He simply shows you. Watch carefully this week. Dreams, small interactions, even interruptions will carry divine data. Heaven speaks fluently through details, and the one who pays attention will not be deceived. The unveiling may also show you what has been working against you. There are spiritual assignments that operated in silence, doubt disguised as humility, fear disguised as caution, distraction disguised as opportunity. But under the gaze of God, these pretenders lose their mask. You will suddenly know which voices are yours, which are God's, and which were planted to mislead. The eye that sees all things is cleansing your inner vision. Yet this unveiling is not only external, it is internal. God will let you see yourself more truthfully. You will recognize strengths you forgot and weaknesses you ignored. You will realize that some of what you called failure was simply formation. Heaven will remind you of gifts you buried out of fear. When light shines on your true self, you will stop imitating others and start embodying purpose. The enemy fears revelation more than rebuke, because truth cancels deception. Once you see, you cannot be deceived again. The power of darkness lies in disguise. But when the light of heaven touches your awareness, you step into unshakable authority. That is what this week brings, the restoration of spiritual sight. Even Scripture itself whispers the same promise. It is written in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 22. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. Those ancient words breathe life into your moment now. God is not uncovering you to wound you. He is uncovering you to weaponize you with truth. You are being entrusted with insight that others might overlook, because heaven trusts your heart to handle revelation with humility. Do not rush this process. Revelation unfolds like a sunrise. It begins faint and grows brighter. What is faint today will be clear tomorrow. Walk with patience, as heaven explains, piece by piece. Sometimes the last puzzle piece appears only when you are ready to believe what it shows. This unveiling also carries responsibility. When heaven shows you truth, you must act on it. Révélation demande réponse. To know and not obey is to dim the light you have been given. But to act with faith sharpens your sight even more. The more you walk in obedience, the more clearly you will see. Prepare yourself. Truth will not always comfort. Sometimes revelation rearranges your entire understanding. Yet every new sight is a step closer to freedom. The truth that exposes you today will empower you tomorrow. Chosen one. You are stepping into a week of divine clarity. The clouds of confusion are parting. You will recognize traps before you step into them, and opportunities before they pass you by, and allies before they speak a word. The eye of heaven has decided that ignorance is no longer your portion. Walk as one who sees. Speak as one who knows. Listen as one whose ears are tuned to eternity. The same gaze that reveals also redeems. And when this unveiling is complete, your path will shine brighter than it ever has before. Chosen one. The storm has gathered, but the eye of heaven remains fixed. The winds that whirl around you are not chaos, they are choreography. You are in the storm center. And though everything swirls, the gaze of God does not move. The stillness within the tempest is not emptiness, it is evidence of divine control. You may feel surrounded by confusion, but do not mistake the shaking for abandonment. The storm is heaven's classroom, where the lesson is trust. The waves rise not to drown you, but to reveal the strength of the one who stands with you, even now. The same hand that formed the storm holds it in balance. The same voice that spoke to creation still commands the winds. The enemy believes storms can silence you, but storms only shape you. The thunder that frightens others becomes your rhythm of faith. Lightning that blinds others becomes your flash of revelation. You, chosen one, are learning to find stillness in motion, to hear guidance within noise. This week, that lesson deepens. The eye that never blinks is upon you, guiding your every turn through the turbulence. Do you remember the disciples on the sea? They panicked when the winds roared, but Jesus slept unbothered, unafraid. Why? Because the Creator cannot fear what He commands. And now His Spirit whispers to you, do not let the wind outside control the calm inside. The eye of the storm is not destruction, it is direction. You are being steered through chaos toward calling. There are moments when the shaking feels personal. Finances, friendships, health, peace, all seem under attack. But look closer. What is collapsing is not your foundation, only your attachments. The storm is stripping away what cannot endure, leaving you with what truly matters, faith that cannot be shaken. God's gaze is not on what you are losing, but on what you are becoming. In this sacred turbulence, heaven is teaching you the art of surrender. When you cannot control the storm, you learn to trust the one who can. When you cannot see ahead, you learn to lean on the eye that sees all. This is the paradox of divine sight. It does not remove storms, it redeems them. The same storm that tried to destroy you will become the wind that carries you higher. There is a strange beauty in being watched in the storm. You begin to realize you were never alone in the chaos. Those words were written for moments like this to remind you that storms are not signs of failure, but fields of faith. You are pressed, yes, but not crushed. The pressure is proof that heaven is still near. Chosen one. As the thunder rolls, lift your gaze higher. Do not focus on what shakes, focus on what stands unshaken. You have been chosen not to escape storms, but to embody peace within them. Those words were written for moments like this to remind you that storms are not signs of failure, but fields of faith. You are pressed, yes, but not crushed. The pressure is proof that heaven is still near. Chosen one. As the thunder rolls, lift your gaze higher. Do not focus on what shakes, focus on what stands unshaken. You have been chosen not to escape storms, but to embody peace within them. Others may lose balance, but you will walk steady, because you are anchored in the gaze that never turns away. When the storm ends, and it will, you will not emerge empty. You will carry revelation, resilience, and a roar of victory that echoes through generations. The wind that tried to break you will be the same wind that spreads your message. This week, as the spiritual atmosphere trembles, respond with prophetic faith. Type the number 555 below as a declaration that grace covers you in transition. The number 5 speaks of grace, and 3 5s speak of overflowing grace, grace for the storm, grace for the process, grace for the promise ahead. Write it as an act of agreement that even here, in the eye of your storm, heaven's eye is fixed upon you, that you will not be moved by what moves around you. For the one who called you remains unshaken. When you comment, Let it be more than numbers. Let it be surrender. Let it mean, I am stable in the storm. I am watched by heaven. I will not be moved. And as you do, peace will begin to flow, not the peace of circumstance, but the peace of certainty, the certainty that God is not just looking down from above, but standing beside you in the very wind. The storm bows to his voice, and you, his chosen, carry that same authority. Stand still, breathe deep, and know the eye that governs the storm has not left you. Those words were written for moments like this to remind you that storms are not signs of failure, but fields of faith. You are pressed, yes, but not crushed. The pressure is proof that heaven is still near. Chosen one. As the thunder rolls, lift your gaze higher. Do not focus on what shakes, focus on what stands unshaken. You have been chosen not to escape storms, but to embody peace within them. Others may lose balance, but you will walk steady, because you are anchored in the gaze that never turns away. When the storm ends, and it will, you will not emerge empty. You will carry revelation, resilience, and a roar of victory that echoes through generations. The wind that tried to break you will be the same wind that spreads your message. This week, as the spiritual atmosphere trembles, respond with prophetic faith. You sense both sorrow and relief, as if light has entered a wound that had long been closed. That feeling, though heavy, is not condemnation, it is conviction. Condemnation drives you away from God. Conviction draws you closer. The difference is love. This week, the gaze of heaven weighs your heart, not to measure worthiness, but willingness. You are being refined in the fire of mercy. Every mistake, every misstep, every shadow of guilt you carry, heaven is aware of them all. Yet the eye that sees every flaw still chooses to redeem. That is the miracle of being chosen. You are fully known and still fully loved. You must learn to accept forgiveness as fiercely as you once carried guilt. Some believers cling to shame as if it were humility. But humility is not self-hatred. It is honesty that welcomes healing. To say, I was wrong, is holy. To say, but I am still loved, is freedom. Heaven's justice does not cancel grace, it completes it. When God corrects, he never crushes. When he convicts, he also cleanses. The two coexist in perfect balance. Judgment without mercy would destroy. Mercy without judgment would decay. But divine love holds both perfectly, like the steady hands of a father who disciplines and embraces in the same breath. That is the season you are in, chastened, but cherished. There will be moments this week when you feel the weight of regret rise again, as if old memories are knocking on your heart. When that happens, remember those memories are not proof that you are still bound. They are proof that you are being healed. The pain you feel is the scar tissue softening. Mercy is massaging your soul into freedom. The enemy will try to twist conviction into shame. He will whisper, "You are not worthy," when heaven is saying, "You are being washed." Do not mistake the voice of grace for accusation. When God corrects, his tone carries peace. When the accuser speaks, his tone carries panic. Learn the difference. This week is about embracing both sides of the gaze, the justice that purifies and the mercy that protects. You are learning that repentance is not about punishment, it is about partnership. It means turning toward the light again, agreeing with what heaven already knows, that grace is greater. Your past may have built walls, but grace builds doors. Every failure that once disqualified you becomes an entry point for compassion. You are not defined by your wrongs, but by the redemption that followed them. The one who sees all things has chosen not to dwell on what you did, but on what you are becoming. Remember the words that were written for hearts like yours. It was proclaimed in the letter to the Romans. Chapter 8, verse 1. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. These words stand as a verdict stamped across your story. The case against you has been closed. The evidence of guilt has been buried beneath mercy. When heaven looks at you now, it does not see the crime, it sees the cross. So lift your head. Chosen one. You do not walk under judgment, you walk under justification. You are being polished by grace until your reflection matches the intention heaven had when it made you. The same eye that once searched for sin now looks for fruit. Let this awareness guide your choices. You will begin to see possibilities where others see problems, to sense divine timing in ordinary days, to discern truth in silence. This is not imagination, it is impartation. You have traded human sight for heavenly vision, and from this point forward, you will never look at the world the same way again. Let gratitude replace guilt, and let hope replace heaviness. The fire of conviction has done its work. The river of mercy now flows freely. You are judged and justified, shaped and saved. Heaven's gaze rests not in disappointment, but in delight. Stand firm in that truth. You are not standing between wrath and rejection. You are standing between cleansing and calling, and both come from the same loving eye. Chosen one. When heaven watches, it does more than observe. It transfers vision. The gaze of God is not one-sided. It is reflective. As you remain under His watchful eye, your own sight begins to change. You start to see as He sees, to discern beyond appearances, to look not with suspicion, but with understanding. This is the great exchange of vision. Heaven lends you its eyes. For too long, you may have looked at life through lenses fogged by fear, disappointment, or self-doubt. You interpreted delay as denial and silence as rejection. But now, the gaze that has studied you so deeply begins to adjust your focus. You start to realize that what looked like endings were actually entrances. What appeared to be rejection was redirection. The eye that once seemed distant is now revealing its purpose to share its sight with you. When you begin to see through divine perspective, the world around you shifts. You no longer measure progress by speed, but by depth. You stop chasing validation and start valuing alignment. You begin to discern timing, not just what to do, but when to do it. Heaven's sight grants you balance between urgency and patience. You no longer run after opportunities. Opportunities begin to recognize you because you move in rhythm with divine order. This new vision is not merely for understanding, it is for transformation. When God allows you to see through His eyes, it changes how you love. You start loving people not for who they are now, but for who they are becoming. You no longer fight flesh, you see the spirit behind behavior. You forgive quicker because you perceive purpose even in pain. The same eye that saw potential in you now teaches you to see it in others. There is a quiet authority that comes with this sight. You stop reacting and start responding. You no longer panic when things seem uncertain, because you understand that heaven is never unprepared. The plans of darkness lose their intimidation because you can now discern the strategy of light. When you see with God's eyes, chaos becomes choreography, and loss becomes a lesson. But be mindful, divine sight comes with responsibility. To see as heaven sees means to love as heaven loves. Revelation without compassion becomes arrogance. God shares his vision only with those humble enough to handle it. You cannot use divine sight to expose others. You must use it to heal them. What is revealed to you in prayer must be covered in grace, not exploited for pride. This is the weight of spiritual maturity, to know much but speak little, to discern deeply but judge gently. The more you walk with this clarity, the more you realize how blind the world truly is. People rush without reason, speak without wisdom, and build without foundation. You will feel the temptation to shout correction, but heaven will teach you restraint. The greatest proof of divine sight is peace. The one who sees clearly does not need to prove it. Their calm becomes their testimony. And when you stumble, remember, sight is a process. Even Jesus healed one man's vision in stages. First, partial, then perfect. Do not despise your partial clarity. It means progress. What you do not yet see, you will. Heaven unveils vision gradually to prevent pride from growing faster than grace. Scripture captures this holy exchange perfectly. It is written in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 18. I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in his holy people. Those words define what is happening to you right now. The eyes of your heart are being opened, not merely to understand destiny, but to embrace hope. You are being invited into heaven's perspective, where despair dissolves and purpose dominates. With this new sight, even your past looks different. What once seemed wasted now reveals wisdom. What felt like punishment now shines as preparation. The broken pieces form patterns, and suddenly you understand why the path curved the way it did. Nothing was random. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment was part of a design too vast to comprehend before now. Chosen one. This is the moment where the watcher becomes the witness. Heaven's vision now flows through you. You will begin to see possibilities where others see problems, to sense divine timing in ordinary days, to discern truth in silence. This is not imagination, it is impartation. You have traded human sight for heavenly vision, and from this point forward, you will never look at the world the same way again. Chosen one. The gaze that once searched and refined you now prepares to crown you. What began as observation has become affirmation. You have been tested in silence, measured in storms, purified in pressure, and heaven has found you ready. The same eye that watched your breaking now beholds your becoming. You stand on holy ground, where the watched become the worthy. Heaven's gaze is not casual, it is ceremonial. When a king crowns his heir, his eyes meet the eyes of the one chosen. That gaze is not only blessing, it is transfer. Power moves through vision. Authority is established through recognition. The crown that awaits you is not of gold or jewels, it is of glory and grace. Woven through every moment, you refuse to quit. The world will not understand how quietly heaven has prepared you. While others displayed success, you were learning obedience. While others chased applause, you were chosen for anointing. The eye of God saw your secret faithfulness, every act of kindness unacknowledged, every prayer whispered in weariness, every moment you resisted bitterness. None of it was wasted. Each was a thread in the crown, now descending upon your life. As was declared in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10, "Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life." Those words are not merely a promise of eternity, they are a prophecy of now. You are receiving your crown in the unseen first, before it manifests in the visible. This is your coronation week, the week when heaven recognizes what you have become under its watchful eye. Yet crowns are not ornaments, they are assignments. The weight you feel upon your spirit is not just glory, it is responsibility. The crown signifies trust. It means heaven has seen enough endurance to entrust you with greater influence. What you speak will now carry more power. What you touch will now bear more fruit. Your voice will begin to echo in ways you never planned. The eye that crowns you is sending you forth as a light among those who still walk in shadows. Chosen one. When a torch is lit, it must be lifted high. That is how this message continues to reach those who are still in their night seasons through you. Every time you share, every time you comment, every time you support what heaven is doing here, you lift the flame higher. You may think it's a simple act, but to heaven it is sacred participation. You are not promoting content, you are carrying fire. Picture a mountain at dawn. One torch alone flickers faintly, but when hundreds of lights join, the entire mountain burns with brilliance. That is what happens when you engage, when you like, when you share, when you subscribe. You are joining your flame to a holy blaze that can reach thousands. And if your spirit feels moved to go further, to donate, to sow, to give, it is more than generosity, it is gratitude. A crown always comes with an offering. Those who understand this truth do not give from pressure, but from overflow. They know that to sustain the flame that blessed them is to ensure that others find the same light. Every seed of support you plant becomes another spark in the darkness, another soul awakened to destiny. This is how the crowned carry their calling, not through pride, but through purpose. You give because you have seen. You share because you have received. You lift because you have been lifted. So, as you feel this word take root within you, respond as royalty would, with grace, with gratitude, with quiet authority. Let your actions echo your anointing. Leave a comment below, not out of habit, but as a sign of agreement with heaven's verdict upon your life. When you write, you testify, "I have been seen, and I will shine." The eye that crowns you now commissions you. This is your mantle of leadership, your invitation to walk in maturity, mercy, and might. You will begin to notice new confidence rising, a peace that does not demand validation, a joy that no circumstance can shake. That is the evidence of your coronation. Heaven's eye remains upon you, not to test you this time, but to celebrate you. Every wound has turned into wisdom, every battle has become brilliance. The light that once exposed now adorns. You are stepping into visibility, not for vanity, but for victory, for the glory of the one whose gaze never looked away. Wear your crown humbly, chosen one, and lift the flame for others. Let this message be your mirror, your reminder, your mantle. You are the crowned and the called, the reflection of divine attention made manifest on earth. Chosen one. When heaven marks a life, it does not fade with time. The gaze that once found you, refined you, and crowned you, now seals you. You have become the watched one, a living testimony of divine attention. This is no longer about being noticed. It is about being entrusted. When heaven fixes its eye upon a soul, it means that soul carries something sacred, an assignment, a mantil, a mission born in eternity and revealed in time. The mantle you now wear is not fabric, it is fire. It is the evidence of encounters unseen, of prayers that left scars on your spirit and songs that rose from your sorrow. The eye of God has not only looked upon you, but also within you, planting revelation where fear once grew. This mantle is the invisible robe of responsibility, woven not with thread, but with trials. It cannot be bought or borrowed. It is granted only to those who endured the watching without running away. To be marked is both an honor and a burden. The world will not understand you anymore, for divine visibility often looks like human misunderstanding. The marked walk differently. They carry the weight of unseen realms on their shoulders, the whispers of heaven in their hearts. There will be moments when you feel alone again, but this time it will not be loneliness, it will be distinction. Separation has become your sanctification. You will notice it in your interactions. Ordinary conversations will suddenly carry prophetic echoes. Casual choices will feel heavier, as though eternity listens in. You have become a vessel of weight. Heaven's messages move through you now. Even your silence carries meaning. You are no longer just living for God. You are living as evidence of His gaze. This mantle will attract both favor and friction. The anointing that covers you will draw opportunities, but it will also stir resistance. Do not mistake resistance for rejection. The same fire that frightens darkness illuminates truth. Wherever you walk, atmospheres will shift because your presence bears witness to something holy. You will disturb comfort zones, not out of arrogance, but out of authenticity. You cannot blend where you were born to burn. The responsibility of the marked is this: to remember that visibility is not ownership. What shines through you is not yours, it is borrowed light. The one who placed his eye upon you remains the source. Stay close to that gaze, or the glow will dim. Pride will always tempt the marked to believe the light belongs to them, but humility keeps the mantle intact. There will be seasons when the mantle feels too heavy. You may wish to go back to being unseen, to live without the pressure of purpose. But those marked by heaven cannot return to ordinary life. Once chosen, always chosen. The eye does not unsee. It continues to follow, to guide, to guard. Even when you feel distant, the connection remains. Do not be afraid of the weight you now carry. The same God who marked you will sustain you. Every marked soul has a moment of breaking, but even in the breaking, the mark remains. Think of Jacob. He wrestled with God and walked away, limping, yet blessed. The limp was not weakness, it was witness. Your scars will soon speak louder than your success. And remember, this mantle was not given for status, it was given for service. Heaven did not choose you to be admired, but to be effective. The mantle means you have become a carrier of mercy, a conduit of clarity, a voice that echoes light into confusion. It is not about doing more, but about being more, being the visible expression of the invisible gaze. The scriptures testify to this truth, as was spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to proclaim freedom. Those words are no longer ancient, they are assignment. The spirit that rested on prophets now rests on you. The gaze that marked Isaiah for mission has also marked you for impact. You are heaven's answer in human form, a bearer of freedom to those still trapped in shadows. From this day forward, the way you see, speak, and serve will change. You are not just called, you are commissioned. Every place you step is sacred, for the mark walks with you. Every word you speak is seed, for heaven's breath fuels your voice. Do not chase platforms, carry presence. Do not seek recognition, reveal reflection. The mark itself is proof that you have heaven's attention, and that is the highest honor any soul can hold. So, walk gently, chosen one. The mantle rests, the mark glows, the eye remains. Chosen one. The light does not dim after the crowning, it deepens. You now walk under the unblinking gaze of heaven, fully seen, fully known, and fully anointed. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your embodiment. You are no longer learning what it means to be chosen. You are living it. Every breath, every word, every step now carries the awareness that the eye of the Almighty watches, not as a distant observer, but as a present guide. Walking under divine light is unlike any other path. It is a narrow way, bordered not by walls, but by wisdom. The light before you reveals just enough for the next step, demanding trust, not certainty. You have walked through silence, storms, and revelation, and now, heaven calls you to walk in stewardship. Being seen by God means being accountable to grace. The gaze that once rescued you now refines you daily. It teaches you to walk softly, speak wisely, and act with reverence. You are not watched for punishment, you are watched for purpose. Divine observation has turned into divine partnership. You and heaven now move in rhythm, the watcher and the watched, working as one. This awareness will become your compass. Before you speak, you will feel the gentle weight of that gaze upon your heart. Before you step, you will sense the quiet approval or hesitation of the one who sees all things. That is how the chosen remain pure, not by rules, but by relationship. Everywhere you go, that presence accompanies you. You may walk into crowded rooms or quiet valleys, but the same peace will follow. Even when others misunderstand your stillness, heaven will understand your obedience. You are a carrier of light now, a reflection of the gaze that never turns away. Your life becomes living prophecy, proof that those who are seen by God become signs to others. This awareness will humble you. There will be moments when you will wish to shrink back, to hide from the responsibility of being visible in the Spirit. But remember, the light that surrounds you does not expose, it empowers. You are not in the spotlight of men. You are in the radiance of God. His light does not humiliate, it heals. You walk not as a performer, but as a torchbearer, illuminating paths for others who still wander in shadow. To walk under unblinking light is to live transparently. You will no longer need to defend yourself. The truth that covers you will speak louder than words. You will no longer chase validation. Heaven's affirmation will sustain you. Every action, even unseen, becomes worship. Every choice, even small, becomes sacred. When you live watched by God, you cease striving for attention and begin striving for alignment. This path will not be easy. The brighter the light, the clearer the flaws appear. But do not fear what the light reveals. It reveals only so that you may rise higher. The goal of heaven's gaze is not perfection, but progression. You are becoming more radiant each day, not by performance, but by presence. The words of Scripture echo the essence of this final revelation. It is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light so shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." That is your calling. Chosen one to shine, not for recognition, but for reflection. You are the mirror through which others see the light they have forgotten. You are the living proof that God still looks upon the earth and finds hearts willing to be refined. As you walk under this unblinking light, you will feel it an inward glow that no darkness can diminish. It will steady you when storms rise again. It will calm you when uncertainty whispers. You will begin to understand that being watched is not a burden, it is belonging. You belong to the one whose eyes span eternity, whose sight never sleeps, whose love never withdraws. You have journeyed from unseen to seen, from tested to trusted, from chosen to commissioned. The gaze that began your transformation will remain until your mission is complete. Even in silence, He sees. Even in your mistakes, He watches with mercy. Even when you walk through new valleys, the same light that once called you will guide you again. This is your covenant, to walk as one who is always under the eye, not in fear but in friendship. To live knowing that the divine gaze is not a limitation, but liberation, the freedom to be fully known and yet fully loved. Chosen one. Step forward. The world awaits the quiet radiance of those who know they are seen. Carry the light with humility, and remember wherever you go, the gaze goes with you. The story is not ending, it is expanding. You are no longer the watched alone, you are now the watcher too, seeing the world through heaven's own eyes. And so, under the steady, sacred light, you walk unmarked, mindful, magnificent, chosen one. You have reached the end of this journey, but heaven's gaze does not end here. What has been spoken over you is not just a message, it is a movement. You have walked through revelation, refinement, and recognition. And now the light rests within you, the same eye that watched, judged, healed, and crowned. You continues to guide your every step. If this message has stirred something deep inside, let that stirring become response. When you like, share, or subscribe, you are not just supporting words, you are extending the light. You become part of the chain that carries truth to another soul, still wandering in silence. Every act of engagement is an act of ministry. Every comment, a declaration of connection. Write below what this journey awakened in you. Your reflection may be the key that unlocks someone else's faith. Lift this flame higher, not for applause, but for alignment. Even when you walk through new valleys, the same light that once called you will guide you again. This is your covenant, to walk as one who is always under the eye, not in fear but in friendship. To live knowing that the divine gaze is not a limitation, but liberation, the freedom to be fully known and yet fully loved. Chosen one. Step forward. The world awaits the quiet radiance of those who know they are seen.